Hi there, myself Izaz Rahman from Search, and you are watching the third and last part of Google Search Console tutorial. In the first and second part, I had explained in detail about the property, overview, performance, URL inspection tool, coverage, sitemap, and removal tool of Google Search Console. So by any chance, if you have missed the first and second part of Google Search Console tutorial, I suggest you to watch those videos first, as it will help you to understand this one better. I have provided the link in the description, or else you can open the video just by clicking on the top right corner of your screen. Also make sure you are subscribed to Search for more videos related to digital marketing. Today I'll be talking about experience, enhancement, security and manual action, links and settings section of Google Search Console. So without further ado, let's get into the video. To begin with, the first option under experience section is for page experience. It is one of the latest algorithm update from Google, as announced by Google that this page experience rollout will happen from starting of June till August end. The page experience update considers several signals that go into creating an optimal browsing experience for users. Google assesses each of these signals and gives a website an overall page experience score. Site owner can view this score in the new page experience report in Search Console. You may be seeing your website score as 0%, but it is possible to even get a 100% score with just little changes in your website. If you will scroll down, you can see the factors associated with page experience signals. The first factor is Core Web Vital, to which we will cover later on in this video. Coming on to the second factor, which is mobile usability. In this, Google checks whether your website is mobile friendly, so all the designs, themes and images should properly load on the mobile phone. Basically, your website should be responsive. So in order to get this green tick mark, you need to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Coming on to the next factor, which is HTTPS. This means all the pages on your website should be HTTPS and not HTTP. This update factor will only affect the HTTP pages of your website. The next factor is for security issues, which means that your website should provide a safe search and should be free of any kind of virus and malware. Moving on to the next point, which is for ad experience, which tells you that your website shouldn't have any ad violation. This means there must not be any pop-up ads that block the full or maximum portion of the display. The next option is for Core Web Vital. For this, we have separate section over here. Your website Core Web Vital score is mixture of three metrics: LCP, FID and CLS. The first factor, LCP, stands for largest contentful paint. It is the matrix that measures the time a website takes to show the user the largest content on the screen, complete and ready to interact. Google defines that this metric considers only the content above the page fold, meaning everything that appears without scrolling. According to Google's guideline, you need to reduce the LCP time below 2.5 seconds to get the green signal. The next metric is FID, which stands for First Input Delay. FID measures the time for when a user first interacts with your site to the time when the browser is actually able to respond to that interaction. The last metric, CLS, stands for Cumulative Layout Shift. CLS is the unexpected shifting of web page elements while the page is still downloading. This kind of element that tends to cause shift are fonts, image, videos, contact, forms, buttons and other kind of content in your website. When we click on this Core Web Vital option, you'll notice there is no such option for exporting the data. Next, you get the last updated date of data. Next to that, we get to know the source of data, which is Chrome UX report in maximum cases. The Chrome UX report represents the data that is prepared on the basis of real world user data. Now below that, we have two separate sections for mobile and desktop. Under this section, there is a chart mentioned in three colors. The red color means your website Core Web Vital score is poor, yellow color represents your score is average, and green color tells that everything is going fine on your website. After this, if you want to check the report of mobile, simply click on this Open Report option. It will take you to this page where you can see the graphs similar to coverage section, and the export button is now back. By clicking on the export button, you can download the data. Now this graph is again divided into three colors. Red indicates that there is some issue in your page and that it's needed to be addressed. Yellow states that this number of URL needs improvement, And lastly, the green color says that all these URLs are good. By default it is set as red box, but which all boxes you will select, their bar graph will appear below. Now let us unselect all the boxes and only keep the red one tick. And when I'll scroll down, I can see what's the reason that my URL have a poor core web vital score. As we can see, these many URLs have poor scores due to CLS issues, and these many URLs having poor score due to LCP issues. And if I will click on CLS issue, it will take me to this page where I get the option of validate fix. Next I can see the number of affected URLs along with a graph. If I will scroll down, I can see the actual URLs having the issue. And if the issue is same with several pages, then you will get to see only one URL with a note that this many number of similar URL exists. And beside that you will get this aggregated CLS. Now if I'll click on the URL, it will show me the 20 similar URLs having the same issue. Along with this, it also provides Google Page Speed Insights website. By clicking on it, I can analyze this page on Page Speed Insight tools and can see the result for mobile and desktop separately, as in what my score are and what amount of work I need to put into that. The same process you can repeat with other color sections as well. Currently there is no one-click solution for LCP, CLS and FID. Neither there is any plugin available which you can install in your website and get rid of these issues. You have to understand the concept behind it and have to implement it on your website to get a good core web vital score. Like in the case of LCP, for a good score, the requirement is that your website's 75% of the above the fold content should load in 2.5 seconds. Now Google isn't asking you that your whole website should load in 2.5 seconds, only the part that is visible without scrolling. So what you can do for your website is, instead of putting a big slideshow or image at the top of your website, you can use CSS background and text, which loads significantly faster than those big slides and images. So like this, you have to understand the concept behind CLS, LCP and FID and find a solution as per your website's condition. If you want us to make a separate video on this, then make sure you are subscribed to UnoSearch and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. You can follow the same step to check your website desktop core web vital report. To the next section, which is for mobile usability. A mobile usability report tells you about your mobile responsiveness errors. When we click on it, we get the same option of export button through which we can download the data in Google Sheet, Excel and CSV format. After that, there is the same option of last updated date and source, which is smartphone crawler. Then this red colored tab tells you the number of pages having issue in the big digits format, and below that small digit indicates the number of issues exist. If we will scroll down, we can see the type of errors, and by clicking on it, we can see the pages having the following issue. But for my website currently, there is no errors in the mobile usability part. But generally the error which pops up here are text too small to read, clickable elements too closer together, content wider than screen and etc. Text too small to read. This error appears when the text in your website at any segment is hard to read due to small size. Normally Google considers font size lower than 12 in this category. Moving on to the next error, which is clickable element too close together. It means that on your page, any two buttons or elements which are clickable are placed very close to each other. To solve this, you just need to open that page and align the clickable elements at distance with each other. But don't forget to view it in a smartphone view format. Moving on to the next error, which is content wider than screen. This error occurs when there is an element in your page that cannot resize itself according to the device. Basically, it is not responsive, and that element is going outside the mobile screen width. To solve this, you just need to click on the error and open the page in smartphone view format. On that page, you just need to observe which element or part is wider than others. Once you know that part, you can make that part with dynamic through CSS. After you have fixed this issue, you need to come back to the same section and click on Validate Fix button. Now coming back to the top of mobile usability section, beside the red color tab, there is a green color tab also, which indicates the number of pages in your website having few or no issues. When I will scroll down, I can see that this many number of pages on my website are mobile friendly pages. And by clicking on it, I can see the exact URL. Moving on to the next section, which is enhancement. Now in this section, the option may vary from site to site. Some may get only one option under it like me, while others may get more. All these options get triggered by the schema data of our website. For my website, the only option here is FAQ. When I click on it, I get the similar red, yellow and green color boxes. The red box here indicates the number of rich results that cannot be processed by Google because of a critical error in structured data. Currently for my website there is zero error in the structured data. Moving on to the yellow box, which indicates the number of rich results that have one or more missing or invalid non-critical or non-required field but no critical error in the structured data. If your structured data is factually correct but some of your links are coming in yellow section, then you can ignore it. But make sure for red section, the URL with the critical error, you need to find a solution as soon as possible. Then the next is green box, the valid section. This means the rich result have no error and all the option fields are present and valid. When I scroll down, I can see the complete item, and when I click on it, I can see the actual URLs for which FAQ schema is pulled by Google. Coming to the next section, which is for security and manual action. Not many people discuss about it, but you should know about this section to avoid certain mistakes on your website and can keep your website safe from any kind of penalty. The first option under this section is for manual action. As the name suggests, it is the kind of penalty that a real human Google employee apply for a particular website when they think that your website is not following a certain important guideline of Google after reviewing them. The effect of this on any website is major, and to remove this penalty are not at all easy. So it is important that you should know which all activity on your website can impose a risk of getting manual action. For some specific kind of activities, Google take manual action. Let us discuss it all one by one. The first is user generated spam. In forum, blogs, guest post website, when the user posts a large number of spam, then Google can impose a penalty for such website. Fake name profile or the post containing only commercial keyword, adult keyword or auto-generated text can invite manual penalty. So to avoid this, you shouldn't permit users to generate such spammy content on your website, and you should further delete all the spammy content from your website. And after that, you need to submit a review request on Google Search Console. Then the second reason for manual action is spammy free host. If you are using any free or cheap shared hosting which contains a lot of spammy website, then your website can also get affected along with those spammy websites. In this case, the best solution available is that you should transfer your website to some other host and then submit a review request. Then the third reason for manual action is structured data issue. Structured data or schema data is a powerful way of providing information to search engine and to get a place in rich results. But Google doesn't want anyone to misuse this option, so they have made some rules which is very important to follow. Google provides a list of structured data errors which we should keep in mind while using this feature. And if you have already got a manual penalty for your website, then you need to work on your structured data, and once you are done with that, you can submit a review request. Then the fourth reason for manual action is backlink issue. If your website is passing out many paid or unnatural backlinks, or if you are receiving many paid or unnatural backlinks for your website, in the both situation, your website can get manual penalty. So to resolve this issue, you have to check where you are getting manual penalty for outgoing or incoming backlinks, and then accordingly you have to correct it. If your website has received unnatural backlinks, then you should contact their source for removing them, or else you can simply use the disavow tool for those links. And for outgoing links, you can simply use nofollow tag. Then the fifth reason for manual action is thin content. Google considered automatically generated content, affiliate content and doorway pages as a thin content. Then the sixth reason for manual action is cloaking and misleading redirect. Many times websites, after not following webmaster guideline, use this trick to avoid penalty. Cloaking is when you showing one content to search engine bots and a different content to website visitor. You are redirecting it to some other page. Redirects is when you track Googlebot and instead of sending it to your main page, you are redirecting it to some other page. The seventh reason for manual action is hidden text or keyword stuffing. This technique was used around 15 years back, but to this day people are teaching it as a black hat SEO. Basically, when someone uses text same as background color, it is considered as hidden text. Then the eighth reason for manual action is AMP content mismatch. If your AMP page and its canonical page has different content, then Google can take manual action. Basically, Google wants to see the page which you are showing to the end users. The ninth and the last reason for manual action is mobile redirects. If you are redirecting the website users to a page that is not visible by search engine, then this can make Google upset. So as you can see for my website, there are no issues detected. Then the second option under this section is for security issues. This issue apply to your website when Google is crawling your website and it notices certain issues in your website related to tactical issue, security issue, or issue related to users' privacy, or something missing on your privacy policy, or the server related issue. So all these issues Google mention over this section. As you can see for my website currently there are no such issues. For your website, if you are having such kind of issues, you need to resolve it and then you can submit a review request. Then the next important section I am going to talk about is link section. This section tells you that what all backlinks of your website is known by Google and which all pages of your website are linked. So when you click on the link tab, the first option which you get is export external links, and when we click on it, we get this two option for more sample links and latest links. By clicking on any of these two buttons, you will get three similar options of exporting this data in Google Sheet, Excel file and CSV format. Below this export button, we have two options for external link and internal link. In both this section, you will get the same option of top linked pages, which means what all pages of your website is linked the most number of times. To view a detailed report for external links, top linked pages, we'll click on this more button. Here you will get a detailed report of the total number of external links. Then below this section you will get the URL of linked pages along with the number of links for particular URL and the number of linked website. Suppose there is a website abc.com and it has given my website 3 links. So in this case the linking site number will be only 1, but the incoming links will be 3. Now if we will click on one of these URLs, we'll be taken to this page which has all the details of website from which my website is getting links and what amount of links are being received from these individual websites. Now furthermore, if I'll click on any of this domain, I'll be taken to the next page which gives me the list of pages from where the links have been passed to the targeted page. Coming to the internal link section, this section consists of links which has been passed from one page of your website to another page of your website. Now to see a detailed report, click on the more button. You will see a number of total internal links on your website in big digits. Then below that you will get a detailed list of which targeted page are getting what amount of links. And by clicking on any of these URLs, you will be taken to this page where you will get the list of all the pages from where the links are being passed to the targeted page. Let's go back to the link section. If you will scroll down, you can see the top linking sites. This section gives you the list of domains from which your website is receiving the maximum number of links. Now like the other section, to see the detailed report, click on this more button and you will see the top linking sites wherein you can see the number of all external links. If I will click on any of this domain, I can see that which page of my website are getting a link from this domain. Coming back to the link section, the last option is for top linking text, also known as anchor text. This section tells you that along with your backlink, what all texts are being used. To see the detailed report, click on the more button and you will get the list of all the anchor text. The next important section of Google Search Console is for settings. When you click on this, the first section is for property settings, under which the first option, as you can see, is for ownership verification. When I click on this, I get to know that my property is verified using which method, and below that I get the additional verification methods, which displays other available verification methods. Now coming back to the settings section, the second option is for user and permissions. When I click on it, I can see the user who has the access to the property. Google Search Console has 3 types of users. owner, full users and restricted users. Here you can't share the owner access to anyone, but for sharing the other two access, you have to click on the add user button at the top and type the email ID with whom you want to share the access. Let me type my email address for example. And then from this drop down you have to select full access or restricted access and click on add button. Now the difference between these three types of user is that the owner has all the rights and can add or remove anyone. Permission person has the access to do almost everything, but he or she can't add or remove the property and also cannot add or remove any user. But in the case of restricted user, they are only allowed to see the data. You can understand the details of this permission better from this table. If you want, you can pause the video and read the details. Now coming to the third option, which is for association. With association, you can associate your Google Search Console property with any Google service. As you can see in my case, my YouTube channel is showing up here. Associated service can access information or claim a relationship with your property. If you want a detailed report on this, you can click on this option and see the details. Moving on to the next option, which is for change of address. This option comes in handy when you are shifting your website from one domain to another domain and you want to inform Google about this. Remember that you have to verify your old website and new domain with the same Google Search Console account, and make sure that you have given a permanent redirect like 301 from your old website to a new one. After all this, you have to select the new domain from this drop down and click on validate and update button. Coming back to the settings section, the next section is for crawling, and under it the only option is for crawl stats. This report shows your statistics about Google's crawling history on your website. For instance, how many requests were made and when, what your server response was, and any availability issue encountered. Then the last section under setting is for about, under which the first option is for indexing crawlers. If your property is crawled by Google Smartphone Crawler, then from when it has been shifted from desktop to smartphone, the exact date you can get it from here. Now the next option is for property added to account, which tells you that at what date this property has been added to your account, and if you want to remove this property from your account, you can do that by clicking on the remove property button. After clicking on that, you will get a confirmation window where you have to again click on the remove property button. That's all for Google Search Console tutorial. I hope that this series of video has added some value for you. If you like our video, subscribe to Search, and if you want a specific video on a topic related to digital marketing, then do let us know in the comment section. This is me, Izaz Rahman, signing off for now. We'll meet in our upcoming videos. Till then, thank you.